Champ, here we are.
We are live, my friend. You're
Pause.
sharp. You picked up on that one quickly, brother. I left the opening
Left the
to
door
you. You fucking on it, brother.
I thought, yeah, I was not too sure if you're doing an NPC moment, a bit of Kruger from last week, but nah.
Yeah.
We've got
We're
a few early
live.
comments.
Yeah, a few early comments. What's going on here? Let's see. 9 of our starting 18 are over 31, and our best team is still basically the grand final team with Schultz replacing Guinea, Noble replacing Markov, and McStay replacing Murphy. Yeah. It's an old team. We're not running away from that, are we, brother?
No.
Yeah. I'd hope the squad could go another year, and I still think it could have, but injuries have put it to bed. I don't know if it has been put it to bed, but it hasn't been made any easier, and it gets worse with my check out for the season. Brother, all these gym injuries, a torn bicep, torn pec. What's going on?
I know. Maybe they're hitting it too hard during the week, but nah. They need to get down to Derrimut and hit that beloved pec deck, don't they?
Yeah, they'd be injury free if that was the case.
Yeah.
The man.
Benny Parsons, huh?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Be an interesting one on Friday, Champ. And I see the reviews already gone out all over it this week, huh?
Yeah, guys. Yeah, the review is the preview is up for the Geelong game. I just figured busy week coming up, get it out early and turn the page over from the Essendon game, brother, so we can move away from that. But how are you? Actually, that brings me to my next question. How are you feeling since Friday? Give us a timeline, brother.
Give a timeline. Yeah, well, wasn't the best game we've played. We obviously started off very hot. Then Chambry rolled into some kebabs, into some Euros, which was good. And then obviously we had a close mate's birthday last night. So sleep pretty much non-existent this weekend. But, we reload and go again for the week.
Yeah.
Which we have. Ben Reed tomorrow that we are recording, and they'll be posted later on in the week. And, we've got some things prepared and very, very excited for that to be released and just to film it in general.
Yeah. Yep. So it'll be good. We'll be looking forward to it, and hopefully Benny can give us some juicy ones to put on the YouTubes, and we'll go from there. But it feels like because we've on a personal level had a few things to do over the course of the weekend, it feels like the game's 5 days removed almost. That's the crazy part. Yeah. It's been a long weekend. I mean, I didn't get to sleep that night that Collingwood Essendon played till 7 a.m. because I was watching the Euros, and both games went to extra time. So it was in for the long haul. But the Euros, they say, man, only happens every 4 years, and the World Cup, obviously, every other 4, or it's bi-yearly then. You got to do it.
All right, Chab, do we want to get kicked off?
Yep. Let's get rolling. Just quickly, I'll say g'day to the weatherman, Theone in Japan. 39 here today. And then Mr. Hot Takes Digsby. Yeah. And hot takes are coming in already. But anyways, Dad says, have faith, we'll be dangerous come finals. Hope so. All right. Let's pop it up. Give me one moment, brother. Let me get up my notes. Okay. Let's start. I'll start with the captain. Let's get him out of the way early for those. We'll thank the early viewers by way of giving them this one. So, Darcy Moore, I've said it many times in the stream. I felt like he's just lacking confidence. He doesn't have that aura. Talk about that word that everyone's been throwing around loosely in the last 7 days. I think he's just been lacking that aura. Looks always nervous when he's around a contest. A couple direct turnovers, namely that hand pass to Merritt, which led to a goal or at least a scoring shot. He had his 3 intercept marks, which is cool, but it almost feels like a stat pad in the grand scheme of things when it comes to that game, when it comes to his last 6 weeks. What we do with him will be another discussion that will be ongoing this week. I'm going to give Darcy Moore, and I'm not looking at the chat, brother. I'm going to say a 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's bang on with some of the comments. People saying 5, so 4.5, not too far off the mark. But yeah, I think a lot to do with our structural issues as well that Essendon were scoring against us were, yes, our players were out of position, but I think it's a structure thing that's failing us at the moment, right? Which is making these players look even more bad.
Yeah.
When we get into some other defenders as well. So it's almost like our system almost needs a little bit of an overhaul because it's not working currently. So yeah, I think a 4.5 is pretty spot on, man.
Yeah. Plenty to talk about. Like there's that system conversation, which you just mentioned. And then what happens with the system when it doesn't work is it can expose players who are out of form. And that's what happens. So, of course, you are champs. You love him. -1 on Friday. Alan, look, a 4 is far from a 4.5, still far from a pass mark. And he was underwhelming. I guess it could be lower. But we already know how bad he's been playing and everything else in between. There's a bit more to it, so 4.5 is reasonable. So, brother, who would you like first dib at?
Let's go. We'll just work our way down the list. We'll go to Charlie Dean.
There we go. There he is.
Yeah, Charlie Dean. So he had the 9 disposals for the game. 5 of those were intercept possessions, and then 1 score involvement as well. It was a bit unfortunate in the sense of he was subbed off, and he got subbed off in the third quarter. Prior to that, though, he had some decent kicks into the center, which kind of opened up the ground. But we're talking about system-based defense, champs. One thing that isn't a system-based thing is in the first quarter, I think it was Moore, Dean, and another defender all flew at the footy. And then the ball just spilled over the top, and then Essendon got onto it, and then ended up going into the forward 50, right? And that isn't a system thing, and that is something that is happening every week. It feels like all our tools, they just get a little bit overzealous, and they all just jump at the footy. There needs to be someone staying down to crumb the footy. That being said, he did get subbed out. I've given him, champ, a 5 out of 10 because I do believe he was getting a little bit better right before they subbed him off. I think he got like 6 of his disposals in that third quarter. He got 6 of those in the third quarter, and then he got subbed out. So yeah, got to give him 5 out of 10.
So what it could have been for the man had he stayed on.
Yeah, and then you get the IQ injury, which happened like 5 minutes after he gets subbed out. It's pretty tough.
Classic. So we say 4.5, brother.
Yeah, 5.
I think that's fair. All right, we agree. So I have got up next Oleg, and I feel like the jury on this one, I think it's not necessarily you and I, brother, but the viewers, I've noticed, a bit torn on this one. I think we've come to realize that Markov probably is that fringe player, as last year he was really established within the team. And since he hasn't been playing very well at all this year, we've noticed many drop-offs in his performance. I think I've got the pre-game notes here as well. We talked about Markov averaging 3 score involvements per game last year, only 1.5 this season. And the obvious one was he was averaging close to an intercept mark per game last year, whereas this year he's only averaging, or he's only had 1 intercept mark up until before the Essendon game. He now has 2 intercept marks for the year. So it's a massive drop-off. It's a fall off a cliff, essentially, for where he's been. And because of that, I feel like people have jumped off the man's back or to support him. They don't rally for him anymore. So when he does have an okay game, they're still saying, don't really rate Markov, get him out. I can respect that, but to suggest he played shocking or think he should get dropped, I'm not saying he can't get dropped, brother. I'm just saying it'd be stiff if he gets dropped off the back of what I thought, brother, was his best performance for the year. He had, got my notes here. Man had 11 kicks, obviously 17 disposals, 11 kicks, running at 82% disposal efficiency. And as I said, got his second intercept mark for the year, so he doubled his stat, and 3 score involvements for the game. I'm gonna give Markov a 6. And there's not going to be. Yeah. Go on.
No. Look, I see the comments. A few people going quite low on Markov, but I actually thought it was one of his better games today, or on Friday, I should say. And he did provide a little bit of run off the back line. And it was good to see. 17 disposals is definitely one of his better performances for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, a few 2s. Benny says 5. 2 for Leggy from Alan.
We're going to have to die on the hill, brother, and just stick with 6.
I can't. Look, guys, I love you guys. I love you all. We love you all. But sometimes we're just going to have to agree to disagree. Look, I'd love to watch I'd love to watch the game back and come back to everyone and say, "Oh, Markov did this and that." But I'm not watching it.
I want to wipe that game.
I'm not watching that fucking game again.
Maybe I could watch that first quarter about 15 times. I reckon it was that good. But the other 3 quarters don't want to know about it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. I'm going to give you Jeremy Howe.
Yeah,
let's go, Chan.
Yeah, so great to see him start in the forward line this weekend. We weren't too sure if he was actually going to start in the forward line. It was good to see. He had 11 disposals, 2 good goals as well, and he just provides a lot of hit up ability, right? Like him on a lead, he looks very dangerous. And he's got really good positioning as well. His second goal, he just edges out Redmond and takes a nice little mark, comes back and slots a goal. He also had 1 goal assist and 4 score involvements. I've given him a 7 out of 10, champ.
Yeah. I don't think he did anything wrong. Led hard at the ball, like I said.
And you got to factor in, right? Our inside 50s kicks were fucking horrendous. Like it would be a hard day for our forward line because we just weren't giving them good looks. We were just kind of just bombing it in a little bit too shallow as well. So it was a hard day for our forwards, and I thought he was probably one of our better forwards on the day.
Yeah, and he was outbodying bigger defenders on him as well, which was good to see. It's good to see some one-on-one footy for the man. So, all right, we'll take the 7. I'm happy with that. I should probably write these down, eh? I'll sort that in a sec. Let's go. I'm going to move on. Where is he? Still side bottom. Played very good, I thought. I really thought the experiment at the halfback flank for a still side bottom was all but over. And then they saw an opportunity where they wanted to move Quaynor to the wing. We can talk more about that as the week progresses as well, as to why that may have occurred. Is it because they want to play Quaynor into form, or if because they want to move so to speak, move the magnets? But Sidey had his 34 touches, which would be close to a season high this year. He had 2 intercept marks, 7 score involvements, which is the second most for the team on the night. I liked his willingness to take on those difficult kicks into the midfield to try and break those lines. The intercept marks is a bonus for a halfback flanker. I think he's sort of once again revivified himself, brother. Like a couple of weeks ago, he looks he's shot, or last week he looked shot, and now he's come back again. So guess what? Now we're going to be talking about keeping still side bottom on the halfback flank, and I think for us, I'm going to give Sidey an 8.
An 8? Yeah, I can back that, champ. I just hope we can get more consistent games from him again.
Yeah.
I feel like it's once every 4 weeks, 5 weeks, he plays a cracker of a game. So hopefully we get some more consistency.
Yeah. And brother, just to clarify, you had Jeremy Howe for a 7. I had Oleg. I gave him a 6 for a pass. What do you have for Charlie Dean, brother? Do you remember?
A 5.
5. All right, cool. I've got Quaynor as your next one, brother. Do you want to take Quaynor?
Yeah. So Quaynor played on the wing on Friday night. I think it was to do with the Harrison Jones matchup as well. And I actually did call it early in one of the Pies podcasts that I would like to see IQ kind of go onto the wing. And my expectation when I saw him there, like he can provide a lot to us, and his disposal efficiency might even go up just because you have some more time and space with the ball. And we saw that in that first play where he had that great link up play on the wing, then got the ball inbound, and I think it was a goal assist to Howe, I believe, off the top of my head. But then besides that, champ, we didn't really see much of him after that, right? Like that first play, I'm like, damn, this is going to be a masterclass move, and then just nothing. So he did have 1 goal assist, 4 score involvements. So that's okay. But yeah, he just really wasn't seen as much as I was hoping for. I thought he would get a lot more run and carry, a bit more disposals as well. I've given him a 4.5 out of 10, champ. That being said, I do want to see him on the wing again, though. I do want to see him on the wing.
I like that. I do like that. That's the second part. I like I want to see him again because it was his first time out in the wing. But I think a 4's too high.
You reckon?
I think
he did come off when
like
he
8 disposals. Well. What was his time on ground? I'll tell you what his time on ground was, and that will give us a better idea. He still had 73% time on ground, which was more than some other players in the field. What was his score? What 1 goal assist, which you pointed out to before.
Yeah. And
what about a 3? What about a 3? Can we do it, brother? We'll shake on a 3, or you don't want to go that low for the man?
We'll go 3.5. We'll go 3.5. We'll drop a point.
What's everyone else saying? 4 is generous. Alan, you had me questioning my thoughts before, but then you said Steel Sidebottom 4.5 before. How do we give Steel Sidebottom an 8? But you give Steely a 4.5. IQ, what do we say? 3.5, brother? Huh?
Yeah, lock it in.
And Anthony wants Quaynor dropped, but I'm going to save that for Pies Footy. But I think, like I said, brother, I'm intrigued. I want to know whether that was just like, all right, it's time to give Quaynor a crack at the wing, or was it okay? He's playing very well this year. We need to move him somewhere else to see if something else works. So that's what that is. Should get dropped, Anthony reckons. And the toe. Hopefully the toe isn't too bad. I've got... Where is he? Here we go. I love this guy. Like, not to throw shade at Darcy Moore, but when Pendles was skipper, and in my eyes, he's still my captain, right?
Yep. The people's captain.
He never lowered it. He never lowered his colours, and not for an extended period of what Darcy Moore's enduring right now. It just, I don't know. I know Darcy's not going to relinquish, or he's not going to be asked to pass on his captaincy anytime soon. I just feel like he lacks some sort of on-field presence that Scott Pendlebury has. So, anyways, that's that. What about Scott Pendlebury? 24 touches, 1 goal, 1 goal assist, 8 score involvements, which was a team high. And brother, 6 tackles, which was also a team high, while nursing a torn bicep. Isn't that crazy?
It's a good performance.
I just don't understand how at age 36, you are the leading tackle accumulator for your team while nursing an injury that would be hampered and be made worse off in these tackles. That's what I don't understand. There's a couple times where he's really trying to brace and support his bicep in those tackles, but he's collected 6, and it's more than anyone for the team. So, I love him, man. I love him. I want to give him a hug. I'll give him. I don't think he was better than. Do I think he was better than Sidey? No. Do I think he was as to the level? I kind of want to give him a set. I'll give him a 7.9. Is that stiff or is that okay?
No, I think that was right. I think that's about all right. We could argue, yeah, a couple of people saying a little bit lower,
Let me
but no, we
see.
can go with a 7.9 champs. I think that handball as well to Jack Chris as well. Just you put it out in front of him and then he just runs onto it. It's a good veteran move there. Just back the weight of your handball and he just
Yeah,
sat up perfectly as well.
yeah. All right. So Zach says 8. Alan 5 for Pendles, lad. He'll be led well, but too slow. Brother, wasn't there a moment where Pendles bursted out of the front of the contest, and I think maybe may have kicked the goal there, or I think he had a goal assist going inside 50, right? That was a kick going inside 50. Alan does want the smoke, so that's okay. We welcome all people. Exactly, Chance. That's exactly what we rely on, old timers. I mean, it's not. He's not wrong there, but So he set it on a 7.9, brother.
Yeah.
Despite Alan's, what do you say, 5? Funny. Champs. The Braz?
The Braz.
Yep.
Yeah. So look, he had 22 disposals, which is above average for him. He had 10 pressure acts, with the 1 inside 50 as well. Sliced the game open as well, and he was pretty good. But I know I sound like a broken record, and I feel like you're always giving me the Braz, but he's just the epitome he's just the epitome of work rate. Like he'll just run and run and run. First effort, second effort, third effort. Like there was a good instant. I think it was in the third quarter where he didn't even impact the play. But he was just putting pressure. You know what I mean? And he was just sprinting. Got a late tackle on one of the Essendon boys, but yeah, wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad, champs. And I rate that pressure really highly. 22 disposals as well. I've given him a 6.5 out of 10, champs.
What do you have to say about that comment? Because that's another hot take.
Yeah, I wouldn't think I didn't see his Corky be as affected as a Josh Dacos, which I think I have next after this. I think Josh, it's particularly early on, was kind of nursing that calf Corky, whereas I think Brazzy's work rate and running, the way he was running out there, he was still running, looks like pretty much close to 100% out there. So I don't believe that would be the case. What are your thoughts?
I think it's even more honourable the way he played, considering he had that Corky. A 5, Digsby, that's suspect, man. That's suspect. And then Alan swings back the other way and throws a jab and says 8 out of 10. Great nickname. So you said 6.5, brother?
Yeah.
All right. Done. 6.5. Braz is captain in waiting.
He is.
All right. Here we go. JDG. Brother, I can't lie. I have to admit, I hyped him up. I dug through all the stats, brother. I did some quick maths. Last 5 versus his first 5 games in a year. I'm saying to go, he's got 26 in the last 5 games. He's kicking a goal a game. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's just going to get better and better. It's his favorite time of the year as we get closer to the final series. And what he put up a stinker, really. 19 touches. I think 7 of those were just kicks. Let me just double check quickly. The goal, he had 7 kicks. 7 of those kicks, right? And just he was someone who I felt like was missing. When the game was there to be pulled back into our way, brother, we didn't see him. I don't feel that. So I'm going to give Jordan De Goey, for his standards, a 4 out of 10. I felt like he was invisible.
Yeah, definitely didn't have the same effect that he did last week, did he, champ? No. Like the way he was bursting around kicking goals wasn't the same this week. So for a player of such a high caliber, and we needed him to come in and impact the game in the fourth quarter, which didn't happen, champ. So yeah, 4 out of 10 is very reasonable.
Yeah. Sweet. And if we're going to hold, we know Jordan De Goey is no Nick Dacos, but if we're going to hold Nick Dacos to high standards, then I think we should be holding Jordan De Goey to a similar standard. Josh Dacos.
No, Josh Dacos. Now, I would call this man the Invisible Man, up with Lipper as well, because they just seem like they do get their touches, but because they just play that linking role, you don't really see them as much in the eye test. Going back, I did think that Corky did hamper him, and he did play in the forward line for majority of that first quarter. Then he kind of started rolling out into the wing, and get up the ground as well. So he had the 20 disposals, ran at 70% disposal efficiency, got the cheeky 2 clearance as well. But champ, I've given him, just because it was a little bit hard to see out there, didn't really do too much. I've given him a below average mark of 5.5 champ.
Yeah. And maybe what's saving Josh is the fact that he had that cork and he played through it. So.
Yeah, like if he played like that and I knew he wasn't battling through this corky, then I would give him a lot lower score. But I'm trying to factor that in.
Yeah. Nah, that's reasonable. So what did you say, brother? Let me jot that down.
5.5.
5.5 for Josh Dacos. Now, excuse me.
We're dying, champ.
Bobby. I personally thought this was his worst game of the year and was also missing for the most part of the game. He had this unrealistic outside of the foot kick. We call it the slider, but you're just using the outside of your foot essentially, trying to kick it, going inside 15, basically completely scuffed it. Probably just needs to use your left foot at certain times. What was his stats again? I think he had, brother, legitimately had one of his quietest games. 9 disposals, only had 1 shot. And you mentioned it in the stream, which was a good pickup. And I don't know if every team's going to do this because I don't think every team has a player like this, but they put Jake Kelly on Bobby Hill for the most part of the game. So talk about what was interesting about that one, brother, before I give the rating.
Yeah, well, because they're able to put someone taller and our kicks were going in a little bit higher, they're just able to body him out. Even though he's very, very athletic, he does lack a little bit of strength. And that's when some people call in the stream as well to put him in the center bounces. He'll get murdered in there. He's very polished below his knees, but I just don't think he's big enough to go into the midfield. That being said, I think that's a formula that teams are going to start looking at as putting your an athletic, taller player on Bobby Hill if they've got the cattle out there. It seems to work because he had a really, really, really quiet game and really didn't make an impact. He got bodied pretty much every time the ball came to him.
Yeah. Which is a good coaching move on the behalf of the Bombers, but also a learning curve for Bobby. And as we always say, brother, the system, what happens leading up to that moment matters. And a lot of those balls that went his way, it wasn't even brother, it felt like it wasn't even a chance for Bobby to jump on his head. It was like just a genuine tussle. And when's Bobby going to win that?
None unless he's bloody jumping on the neck.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give Bobby his worst game. Big game. We needed him. 3. I can't give him anything more than a 3.5 out of 10. I'll be straight.
That's the score I had in my head, champ. So
let's go,
lock it in.
What's the chat saying there? In agrees, 4s. 5.5 for Zach. Bobby, my favorite 3. Yeah, he had the ankle knock. He did. It was hard for the forwards in that game because of how shit the kicks in the 50 were. Yes, Zach. Yes. We don't like shallow kicks going inside 50, brother, do we?
No. It was fucking shit house.
Shite. Okay. You have... I looked after you this time, brother. Hey, I looked after you with this one.
I know. I when I read the list, I had to look back again. I'm like, you're giving me both Dacos. What's going on, champ? Sorry, must be hungover. But look, Nick Dacos had an interesting game, champ. 31 disposals, 23 kicks, 8 handballs. Does that factor in? Obviously, he was getting tagged as well to his lowest ever disposal efficiency. 41.9% champ. I looked back. That is his lowest disposal efficiency ever in his career thus far. Still, some of the kicks were still to advantage to the players that he's going to, but he did lead the game with 12 clearances, which is elite.
Huge.
So, champ, I'm conflicted because obviously one side you're looking at his disposal efficiency wasn't good. I do allude to though, like even though his disposal efficiency wasn't as good as it has been in the past, it was still to the advantage of our players. I've given him champ. I did have him as a 7.5, and I think that's fair. If we're giving Sidey an 8, he was probably one of the best ons there. Could be a little bit harsh because he did have the 12 clearances, but I think I'm going to stay firm and stay with 7.5 champ. And you got to factor in Nick Dacos, like we're holding him to a high caliber here.
Yeah, 7.5. 12 a game high clearances of 12 is nice. But he just did lack a bit of polish with his kicking. In saying that, we've mentioned before, like sometimes it's hampered by the fact that he is just as good on his left side of the body, and when you're under the pump, like if a Tom Mitchell's there winning that first ball out of the contest and shovels it out to Nick, then he'll have more time on the ball. But he's the hit to guy at the moment, and when you're the hit to guy and you're getting tagged, not ran with, you're getting tagged. It's so hard to put together, I guess, a clean game with ball use. But so you want a 7.5, lad?
Yeah.
We'll live with it. Worst game, 6. Go 6.5, but that's a stress. So we're gonna go 7.5, Alan. 7.5, Alan.
Big stretch.
Yeah. Patrick Lipinski. One of those guys that also can sometimes go unnoticed, and he was particularly unnoticed on Friday. 11 disposals, which would be close to his lowest amount collected for the year. Had the 4 score involvements, which is nice. Had the goal assist. Had a shot on target. But, brother, if I'm being honest with you again, it's just another... He felt like a passenger on Friday. He felt like a passenger. Without me saying, okay... Actually, brother, I will say, I do remember he was putting his body on the line in some difficult aerial contests more than once, right? So I respect him for that. But I can only give him a 4.3 despite saying that.
Yeah, I think what we're alluding to, I think it was in the first quarter, it happened a few times where he's actually just gone back with the flight of the ball and made a contest and made it harder for the Essendon forwards. And it was good to see because I don't really see him as a player that really puts his body on the line going back with the flight of the ball. But he did that twice I think it was in the first quarter, and it was good to see. Helped us out and stopped potential goals like that. So good promising signs. But yeah, he did go missing, didn't he, champ?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like Lippia's going to be one of those players where if your team doesn't play well as a whole, he's probably going to have a similar reflection in his own performance when the whole team isn't playing well. Now, on a sour note, brother.
Oh, no good, champ. Huh?
No.
Checkers. Well, I don't even know what to start. Well, did I notice Checkers felt like he was getting up the ground. He normally gets up the ground, champs, but he was very high this weekend. Almost more so than usual. And I wonder if that was to do with Kruger being that deep resting forward. And that kind of affected the way he played, because I didn't think prior to his injury he was making a real impact on the game. Like, yes, he had the 1 goal and 3 score involvements, but besides that, champ, it wasn't the Myercheck that we're used to. And then obviously he gets injured, which is absolute shit house, and he's out for the season with a pec tear. So
Yeah.
that pretty much sums it up with how the game was on the weekend. And unfortunately, I've given him a 4.5 out of 10. Just because of the way he competes up the ground and his continuous pressure to lead and play bigger than he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4.5 champ, and it just sucks that he got injured. It really is.
Yeah. 4.5's fair. Played high off the ground. You said Kruger.
Champ.
Toby.
Did you see a certain someone kick 5 goals in the VFL?
I did. Ash Johnson, brother, huh?
I'm not saying he can't. I know he hasn't been good for us. But what is he, champ? He's a momentum player. He's a confidence player. Maybe the 5 goals. Maybe he comes in, or Reef, which I would rather have Reef in. But you never know.
Yeah, he's got one more sniff. He's got one more sniff out of AJ. If he doesn't get picked for this game and he plays well next week, who knows? He could be in. So once again, that will be a interesting development throughout the week. We're going to move over Frank. Billy Frankton.
Oh, fuck.
Billy Frankton, brother. And we're going to move over to Joe Richards now. You're next, brother.
Well, you're not even going to give him a score up.
Nah.
Fuck him off.
Fuck Frank off, man. Like, I sound like a sad cunt. I do. I sound like I'm ripping him and that. But like, you're not up to it. Like, I don't know. But what more can I say, man?
Yeah.
I don't know. We were loving him, brother. It's so sad. We were loving him early in the year. We're hyping him up and saying he's playing better than Darcy Moore, which he probably still is playing better than Darcy Moore, just by the way.
Champ, it's like we were all aboard the Frampton train. Hey, we already left, man. We were all train stations leading to the MCG, right? Then he swings forward and plays ruck. And then now he's back in the back line. And it's like
I blame Craig.
He's just lost that ability, champ. He's not that same player that he was.
I blame Craig.
Blame him.
Craig McRae fucked Billy Frampton up. He ruined him, man. So Billy Frampton was playing good before Fly moved him forward, and now it's all fucked. So I'm going to give Billy Frampton. I'm not going to give him a 0 out of 10. I'm just going to give him a 2 out of 10, just because I feel like being a little bit more kinder today, brother. All right.
Yeah.
2 out of 10.
And now we'll move over to Joe Richards. Joe Richards. Let me put this down, brother.
Oh, sure.
Don't want those screenshots of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Richards, he's quite a promising player, isn't he? He's starting to look good, and he's very efficient with his touches. So he's 8 disposals on the weekend. 2 of those led to goal assists. 4 of those were score involvements, champ. So if you look back at the Suns as well, every time he touched the ball in that Suns game, it resulted in a score. So he's getting into good spots, setting up players, even though he I don't believe he kicked the snag. Let me just double check that, champ. Don't want to cook it. Yeah, no goal. So he did provide some good linking play though, champ. Thought he was okay. Wasn't his best game though. I reckon he gets the pass mark though. Still gets the pass mark in my eye. He gets the 6 out of 10.
Yeah, and you know why I had to think about that for a second. So I just wanted to consider everything before coming back at you. But if you think about it, he's in the bottom 6 of our squad. The standards are a little bit lower for him right now. He's sort of just finding his feet at AFL level. He's doing everything he can. And obviously, in a game like that where you're a small forward, your team's playing that bad, the chances are you're not going to play anywhere near to the level that you possibly could play at if that's the case. So you said you want to give him a pass?
I'll give him a pass. Look, I'm being very lenient today as well for our forwards because, besides the first quarter, we're all up and about. Like our forward 50 looks was just so bad. Like it was just really high, shallow. Our keys couldn't compete, and even if it did get brought to ground, like it makes it even harder for the small forwards as well. So, yeah, giving them a little bit of leniency today.
Yep. I'm happy with that, man. All right, DC. Look, brother, he's still got his intercept mark, okay? But what the stats don't read is there were another 2 or 3 occasions where he once again puts himself in tough positions going, brother, I don't know if he's got a death wish or something. Like, this man just doesn't care, brother. Brother, he's going back like that, brother. Like he doesn't give a fuck. So he gets his 10 touches, gets his intercept mark, gets his ribs cooked again. So came in with the ribs, cooks them again in an aerial contest going back with the flight. Poor cunt. If we're factoring that in, brother, and factoring that he's put his body on the line once again, you know what? He deserves a pass mark just for that. He deserves a 6 out of 10 just for that. That's my opinion.
Mate, his ability to go back with the flight of the ball and just not care, brother. He's got big D's on, big nuts, big balls.
Yes.
I would have thought he was a little bit higher than a 6 champ, maybe 6.5, 7 potential. But look, we can go with a 6 champ. He's rocking a
He's
fuck.
definitely quieter than like his last few weeks, though, right?
And he is rocking like, what was his centre bounce attendance this year? Like, 82% actually. That's quite a lot lower than actually.
Because he spent less time on the ground, brother, because of the ribs. 72.
Yeah.
I think he had 72. I think he had 72% time on ground. Where is it? Let me see. 71.
71. Yeah.
Close. All right, gents. We've got for you shooter mini my check.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So shooter, 9 disposals, the 1 goal, 12 pressure acts. But champ, I reckon he was missing. I reckon he went missing this weekend. Didn't really give us a whole lot. I know the inside 50s looks were shit, but the last few weeks he's been really good for us, and it's like he's taken a step back to prior to round 10, right? Like where he was just kind of nowhere to be seen. And you know, we want to talk about, okay, well, Lachie Schultz he's in there for his defensive ability and his pressure acts as well. Well, he only had the 12 pressure acts and he had 1 tackle. And if he's not going to be scoring offensively, which he only got the 1 goal, and he didn't really give us much on defense, so I can't really give him a pass mark. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 champ.
Yeah, and that could be considered kind, but as we said a couple of times with the forwards, they do get a little bit of a slight leniency because of the service. Yes, he was also invisible, but I don't think we have anything against him, Alan. I just think he had a bad and unnoticeable game. We've given him raps when he's played well, brother. He's bounced back very well in the last 4 to 5 weeks. It's just unfortunately he didn't play well at all. And sometimes if you don't get the ball, that's fine. But if you don't get the ball, it means you probably didn't play well as a forward. Sometimes, most of the time, I would say. Most of the time. What did you settle on, lad?
4.
Okay. 4 out of 10. We are a rabble and he's having it crack. I wouldn't go so far as to suggest we're a rabble. We're dealing with a lot of injuries as well, unfortunately, but it's all good. It's all good. All right. Where is it? I really liked the way Kruger, he injected himself throughout the bits and pieces of that 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter. As a key tall player, particularly in the forward line, you're naturally going to have quarters and halves where you're unsighted. That's fine. It's just, can you stay attentive within the game and understand and trust that you're going to have moments? And when those moments come, be ready for it. The problem with one of the problems with Ash Johnson earlier last year, this season, was he was missing for a half, but then he'd have a clean run of the footy and goes to take a mark. And what happens, brother? It slips through both of his hands, fucking butterfingers. Like that's the sort of thing that suggests the attention and focus isn't there. But I think Kruger does have that. And he kicked 2 goals, I think. Yep, he kicked 2 goals.
No.
When he pinched hit as a ruckman, he had an intercept mark, set up well behind the ball. 8 disposals, if that fucking means anything. 5 tackles means something, that's for sure. And I don't know how many of them would be inside 50. I might need to, if you want to check brother on the AFL app, but I don't know if that was because he was in a ruck. But 5 tackles is a good return. Given all of that, I think I've made a reasonable case to indicate that I want to give Kruger a 6.5 at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was good, champ. Like, got those 2 goals. And what I like about Kruger is the way he rucks, in particularly in the stoppage work and the boundary throw-ins.
He didn't get that goal assist, by the way, for tapping it to Crisp. I just checked. He didn't get the goal assist.
Oh, he didn't get the goal assist? Yeah.
It may as well be.
Yeah, it was elite, right? So he set up that goal for Jack Crisp to score, I think his 2nd goal of the game. But he's not he's tall, but he's like, what, 6.5, 6'5", right?
Yeah.
The guys he's rucking against are a lot taller than him. But what he gives and what he knows his strength is obviously his strength and how muscular he is. So what he does, he goes and takes contact straight away and bodies them and beats the aggressor. Because, champ, his ruck craft isn't going to beat the opposition ruckman in the tap, is it, champ? Yeah. So that's what I like about him. He's playing to his strengths in the taps and he's just pinch hitting as much as he can. And I thought his fitness was a little bit better than it was last week. So continuous improvement. I like it. Let's lock in. You say 6.5, champ?
Nah, give me a 7, bro.
A 7? Give him a 7, man.
All right, sweet. Cool. Next up, brother, we've got for you. Here we go. There he is.
Yeah, your favorite player, right? So, yeah, Harrison. So, 10 disposals, 3 score involvements, a huge 22 pressure acts. And, champ, how good was that goal in the 4th quarter where he just boots the ball, I'd like to say just on the edge of the box, and it just one bounce over, gets a goal. I was thinking, I think it was around that 12-minute mark, hey, is this the start of the comeback? Are we going to start weaseling our way back in? Wasn't to be, but for that moment, it was like a little bit of spark, which it gave the boys. You know, we just needed to get on the scoreboard, and that's what it did that. And he just roosted the ball really good. I like the way he operates, the way he moves around in that position that he plays. I'm giving him, champ, a 6.8 out of 10.
Perfect. 2 goals. So he's probably averaging just over a goal a game now, which is great. Great for the confidence. And just another thing, like when you are somebody who's finding their way in AFL level, you're not going to have moments every single quarter, sometimes halves. But that second half, brother, he kicked both those goals in the second half, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. 6.8 out of 10. Let's go, champ. All right, let's go. And guys, like you will notice, we are definitely not rushing through these, but the reality is we just want to get past this fucking game. We want to look forward to Geelong, don't we, brother?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Going back to your Kruger question, the 5 tackles, none of those were inside 50.
Unreal. Thanks, brother. Doesn't help my case though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's all right. 0 tackles inside 50, but we give the man a 7. All right. So I have got the hyphenator. So Hoskin Elliott, just correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to ruin my case. He played off the half-back flank, yes or no? Or did he play wing as well?
I thought he was off the half-back for at least a little bit of the game.
Yeah. At the very least, there was a split between the two. He definitely didn't play forward, I don't think. So 20 disposals, at 75% disposal efficiency, 16 of them kicks. I don't know how he's got 75 disposal efficiency because, brother, I felt like he franked a few kicks, like quite a few. But he did battle hard. That was something live in the game. I'm like, fuck, he's sort of shanking it here and there and he's missing targets. But I felt like there was effort. And I can't say that for every player that played for the Pies on Friday. 1 goal assist, 3 score involvements, 1 intercept mark. I want to look wherever he played. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that. He's Mr. Fix It. Just put him where he needs to be, and he'll play okay. Some people love him. Some people hate him. Hosky stuffed up a couple, but he's a trier. Yep, that's exactly what I just mentioned. So that's good. I'll give Hosker 6.
Pass mark? Yeah. Yeah, because I felt like even though he ran at 75% disposal efficiency, I'm with you. Like, I remember when we were talking the watch along, like, fuck, it felt like he was messing up quite a few times. So I'm surprised it was at 75%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lock it in, champ. Lock it in.
Yeah. And when you get someone switching positions every other week, it's hard to adapt. But that's why I think a 6 is reasonable. A 6 is reasonable for him. Let's go, brother. There he is.
The man. Wow, boys, what a first quarter, huh? 3 goals in a matter of minutes, all elite goals as well. The Pendles, Jack Chris link up, elite. Ball just falls in front of him, gets it up on a perfect bounce, wrists the ball in through the big sticks. Second goal, Krugs taps it down to him, gets it, snaps. How good's that? Good craft, rough craft, good reading of the tap, good snag. Was really good. Really, really good. 24 disposals, 11 of those were contested possessions, 6 score involvements, 4 inside 50s as well. I had him as an 8.5 out of 10, champ. Now, we did give Sidey an 8. So I don't know if that needs to be factored into anything because I thought Sidey's game was quite good. But I'm going to stay, not factoring that, what I had written down, 8.5, champ.
8.5. Yeah, he swung his punches, that's for sure. And swung early. Gave us something to lift about. What about an 8? What about an 8, brother? 8. Because I don't know, like I felt like he had these 3 goals, which is huge. But after that, I was like, okay, where is he? Not where is he, but
he was still around, champ. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like he set the bar for himself quite high. Yeah, let's go with an 8 then. 8 out of 10.
Sweet. And breaking news: the Swans just lost to the Saints. I think I had Saints to win as well, brother. I had the Saints to beat the Swans. Oh no, I didn't. I had Marty to kick 10 on Josh Battle, so we can get Josh Battle for unders in free agency. So
I did pick the Saints in my prediction with Fancast, but I said it was because Max King was going to kick 5 goals. Obviously, not the case. It was an MCL or ACL, so he's fucked. But hey, champ, a prediction to prediction, and they got up. So I'm counting that as a win.
Let's go, champ. That's huge. That's huge. All right. Last but not least, guys, champs, you're gonna love this one. I just saw, brother. I just realized you sent me a photo of Ned Long, right?
Yeah.
I didn't use that because I didn't see it, but I've got this one. I've got this one for now.
Well, what a face, huh? That's all right.
Okay. Ned Long comes on in the 4th quarter, gets his 9 disposals, 4 score involvements, 2 tackles. He had a goal assist as well, brother?
Yeah.
Goal assist, 10 pressure acts. Deserves another opportunity next week. Yeah, Woody Saints get up. 66% disposal efficiency is suspect because, again, I thought he used the ball well. He's got an interesting kicking style. So, brother, I think we're gonna find out a bit more about what his kicking is truly like. But in that game, I thought he was okay. I think 7.5. He had immediate impact. He was clearly a key, like a true catalyst for our late attempt to come back that game.
7.5.
Is
What
that
if
a
we play-
bit too generous, huh?
I think that's a bit too generous, Champ. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Thinking
Where
of
would
laying
you
it
go?
back. Oh,
Where
I
would you
like
go?
that 6.8 that I gave for Harrison. I reckon about 6.8, potentially 7 because it was his debut game. Yeah, let's round it up to 2. We'll go 7.
No, I'm actually happy with
6.8?
the 6.8. Digsby says he wasn't on the ground, just wasn't on the ground long enough. I want to know how old Digsby is because that is a real father joke, man. Marty, Long 7. Ned Long next. Tom Mitchell. Maybe we'll see. We'll find out more. I don't want to jump the gun. So that's everyone. So before we move on to the People's Champ, brother, let's talk about what was for you. What was Fly McRae's? What's your assessment of Fly McRae's performance this week?
Okay, Champ.
Now, and it's sort of a question without notice, but
No. I was what didn't I like? I would have liked rebounding back to come in and get selected, and Harry Dimitia to come in and make his debut. Ned Long was good, but that being said, Sidey did play well off the half back line. You can't taking off Charlie Dean in the third quarter when he had 6 disposals for the quarter, second most of all Collingwood players in that quarter. Just started to find his feet and rhythm in the game. You take him off then. It's questionable. You can't give him shit for like, okay, IQ gets injured 5 minutes later. Like you can't envision that. So that's not a factor. But you can factor in the fact that Charlie Dean was just trying to impose himself in the game, and then you take him out. So that was an interesting choice. Maybe you could have got someone else in instead of Ned Long. Subbed out. I reckon the boys started off firing. I don't know if that's something to do with a pre-game speech. I'm going 3.5, Champ. 3.5.
I don't think his performance has been as bad as recent weeks. Like I said, probably a little bit disappointed we didn't see Reef McInnes. Definitely disappointed we didn't see the TJs, the Demetriers. But I think, man, like he is really struggling with the injuries that are being handed to him. Yeah, so I think 3.5 is a bit harsh. Can you give me 4.5, brother?
We'll split the difference. We'll go 4.
All right, done.
4 for
Fly
Fly.
McRae. 4
We
out
need
of
to get
10.
him up. We'll make
Hey.
a.
You know what I wanted, brother? Actually, what I want Fly to show some fucking give me some real emotion in the presser, like Damien Hardwick did for Gold Coast. Did you hear about that, brother, or did you see it by any chance?
No. Yeah, I heard about it.
Like, I feel like Craig has these generic responses, as do most people when they are spoken to in the presser for reasons beyond them just wanting to tell the truth. They probably want to protect their players. They want to not say something outrageous because the media will just clip it, which is what they're going to do with Dimmer anyways. Reef can cut. Bo Reef can cuss not performing. The young guys will be really bad after concussion. So, yeah. I just thought that post-game presser was uninspiring by Fly, but that's me being critical.
Critical. So, yeah, 4.5.
Yeah.
Sorry, 4 out of 10, Champ.
Yeah, 4 out of 10. And brother, team rating, overall team rating.
First quarter, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, just because they snuck that goal late when we could have just slowed it down. And yeah, that goal right at the end, Champ, was really annoying. But the rest of the game, man, it was just fucking uninspiring footy, wasn't it? It was didn't really play the footy that I've come accustomed to. I reckon it
Was
was
it our worst game of the year, brother?
It would be close because it was just I don't know. We're getting to the pointy end of the season, and when I was watching the game, it was probably the first time I've ever looked at Collingwood this year, and like maybe in recent year, and I'm like, fuck, we didn't look like we're a grand finalist type of team. Did you get that feeling?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm going for the first half factored in as well. I'll go a 4, maybe 3.5 out of 10. Champ, 3.5.
What was rock bottom?
Yeah.
What was rock bottom this year? Is a question I'm asking myself. I feel like rock bottom was the St Kilda game.
Early on,
I
in the
don't think
year,
we played. I don't think we played as bad as that game.
Yeah.
But I still think a 3 out of 10 is what that game felt like on the weekend, particularly the second quarter and the third quarter. So I want to go a 3.
Yeah, lock it in, champs.
Sweet.
Lock it in, champ.
All right. You felt like the Swans game was worse. Yeah, actually, sorry, Ben. The Swans would have been the worst. The Saints the second worst, and then this the third worst. But arguably this even worse because we did all the hard work to come back to put ourselves in a good position to earn that top 4, and then we've pissed it away. But again, no thanks to injuries, of course. So that doesn't help. Guys, we're moving on to the People's Champ. Let me pop up the most recent one. Just bear with me, guys. So this is live as of post Gold Coast. So I'll just load it up now, guys. 1 second. All right. Here we go. So as of post Gold Coast, this is where we stand, okay? So we got Nick Dacos on 14 votes, Jack Crisp 10 votes, Darcy Cameron 8, Bruzzy 6, Bobby Hill 4. Brother, for those who haven't been here before and for those who still don't understand the rules, although despite being here many times before, explain the rules.
All right, guys. So we will announce who gets the 5 votes. All right. You go give us your player. Let's say Frampton. All right. Only 5 votes then. All right. Don't give me your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Only 5 votes. All right. If the player that's been voted 5 votes before, and now we're doing vote 4, you can't then vote for the person who's locked up that 5th vote. All right. So go in, get your votes in. We'll open it up now. Who do you guys think was the best on ground on the weekend against Essendon? And we got 1 vote for Frampton by Digsby, by the way. Chalk it up as a vote. Chalk it up. It's a vote, champ. It counts. While people are getting their votes in as well, Sullivan came down to the VFL after getting dropped, 31 disposals. Champ, Finlay McRae, 30 disposals as well. Jack Bartel, 29 disposals. Sam Glover as well, 25. I actually quite like him. He's 27, not on an AFL contract, just VFL, but he moves it quite well. TJ, 16 disposals, champs. 3 marks by him. And the big one, Ash Johnson, 5 goals, which is good to see.
And Dimitir, a bit disappointing apparently. Only 11 touches.
Yeah, 11 touches for Dimitir. And I think Ilaru Smith, I did see he had a big game in the hit-out department.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I get that data on the VFL app because it's dog shit, but I read it somewhere.
Guys,
hit-outs,
so
there you go. 35 champ.
35 hit-outs. That's a massive output. So that's promising for the youngster. Guys, give us your 5 votes. Who was best on for the game against Gold Coast? I know it's tough. I know it's difficult. Right now, we have 1 vote for Jack Crisp right now, and the other is 1 for Nick Dacos. Who else have we got for your best on ground for Friday night? Smith was the highest rated player. No, he was. So when
I'm taking.
I didn't see the eyebrow raise. No? At least he was versatile. 2 goals. Daniel reckons Kruger gets a vote, so we'll put that down. Gets a vote. Champ, who's your 5 votes? Who are you allotting them to?
I would be giving it to Jack Crisp, I think.
Okay, Jack Crisp. I will go. I'm just going to go with Sidey because I love the redemption arc. I love this redemption mark on Sidey, still side bottom. But nobody wants to play today, brother. They're all cut. They're all cut about Essendon. They don't want to give anybody 5 votes. So I understand it. So for that, we're going to give Jack Crisp. We're going to give Jack Crisp the 5. So let me jot that down. JC 5. All right. Yeah, Flag Pie said Crisp as well. So that pretty much locks him in. All right.
Yeah.
For the 4 votes, guys, who gets the 4? Who gets the 4? Brother, who do you have for 4 votes?
Sidey.
So,
Who did we just lock away, by the way? Jack Crisp, right?
Jack Crisp,
Yeah.
Digsby says 5 for Sidey. So Champ says Sidey. Ben says Sidey. Digsby, Crispy's already got the 5, mate. Flag Pies says 3. Sidey. Stealth says Sidey. I say Sidey. And therefore, the 4 votes goes to still side bottom. All right. Thanks for that, guys. Moving on to the 3 votes. Who gets the 3 votes for the game? Jack Crisp got the 5. Still side bottom got the 4. Everyone coming in to vouch for the man Sidey, brother.
We got 1 vote for Nick Dacos.
Yep. What else, brother?
Howe, 1 vote. Pendles, 1 vote.
Yep. Who have you got, brother? Nick Dacos 2.
Yeah, I reckon it's like, even though his disposal efficiency was poor at his lowest ever at 41.9%, 12 clearances, Champ is 12 clearances at the end of the day.
Yeah, hard to go past that, mate. I'm with you. So that's 4. Once you flag us, consider us. Magpie says Krugs. I respect it, but I don't think he's going to get it. We've got 5 for Nick Dacos once you include me. Yes, Steve, he was the highest rated player. He was, but Nick Dacos, I don't know. I'm just thinking back to my chat about Scott. It doesn't matter because people have voted for Nick Dacos more than Pendle. So Nick Dacos is going to get the 3. Who gets the 2 votes? Chat. Who gets the 2 votes? Tell us.
What do you reckon, Champ? Pendles or Krugs?
Nah, Pendle's easy, bro. This should be easy. This one. Yes, this is SP10, bro.
A few people.
What are you going to do, lad?
Huh? No, I'd go Pendles, but I just see, a few people voted for Krugs, so.
Alan?
I think Digsby agreed with him in one as well.
Oh, yeah, because of the earlier ones as well, right? So I'll go Pendles. Are you going Pendles, Champ, or do you want to go Krugs?
No, Pendles.
So Pendles is clear. SP10 gets the 2. And for the solitary, the 1 vote. Who gets the 1 vote, guys? Who gets the 1 vote? Tell us, brother. For you?
Mine would. Who would it go to? How?
So you want Jeremy Howe.
Yeah.
Flag Pie says Harrison.
Magpie says Kruger. Stealth Ninja Bruzzy. Only 1 vote for Kruger. Magpie's trying to stitch us up. Voted twice. I almost read it out again.
Match fixing. Theone's behind in the chat, brother. All right, he'll realize he's behind.
Oh,
Hello, Theo, from Japan. Krugs. The weather must be nice in Japan, brother, but the internet delay isn't, huh?
Might be the time zone difference.
Yeah. Husky. All right, this is not going to be easy. Jeez. Husky, 1 vote. Kruger's got a couple. You've got Jeremy Howe.
Yeah.
I was looking at Jeremy Howe. I am going to look at the ratings quickly. I have the benefit of looking at the ratings. So I love that. I kind of like the Jeremy Howe shout. I do.
Mm.
All right, give us a couple more, guys. You doing the quiz later? Now we'll do the quiz. I'll do it every moving the magnets.
So
Chris
every
wants to-
Thursday champ, right?
Yeah, every Thursday. He wants to make amends. He lost to Steve OFN. Does Ash come in
Was
this
it
week?
close or did he get rins?
He made a comeback.
Yeah.
All right, so Krugs again. All right, Krugs gets the votes. Votes. So the top 5 rounds out. Jack Chris with another 5 votes. Still Sidebottom with 4. Nick Dacos with 3. Pendles with 2. And Kruger with 1. Brother, anything to round out the session?
I got nothing for you, champ. So I want to put this Essendon game behind me. Move forward. Look forward to some of the videos later on in the week, but most importantly, see how we bounce back against Geelong on Friday night.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, thank you for joining us. And for those who watch this stream after the fact, thank you for putting some time away. And we'll see you guys throughout the course of the week. Take care.
So, yeah.